My name is Jonathan Newell and you're watching Steppe Tales. The character of any country is defined by the people and the history, and Kazakhstan is no exception. Today we're going to find out about one of the great people in Kazakhstan's history, Zhambyl Zhabaev. These are the gates of the Zhambyl Museum where we'll be spending the rest of the programme. You can see that they're in very good condition. The reason for that is that Zhambyl Zhabaev is held in very high regard by the Kazakh people who make pilgrimages here quite regularly. The museum itself was built in 1947 and contains the house where he lived, the place where he worked, and even the car that he used to drive. The poetry and works of Zhambyl Zhabaev are part of the curriculum of local schools, and children often come here on field trips. Two parties of children were at the museum today from Almaty and the nearby town of Uzinagash. We're inside the house of Zhambyl Zhabaev now, and this is his dining room. And everything has been kept here in the original form as it was when he lived here in the 1930s and 1940s. We look at this china here. This was given to Zhambyl in 1938 as a present, and you can see that it's original china here, and on there's the crest from the factory where it was made in St. Petersburg. Zhambyl lived in this house for 7 years, from 1938 until his death, and this was also presented to him by his friend, a ballerina, and also it includes this beautiful ladle that goes with it. Behind me you can see this fantastic portrait. It was painted by a German artist. Again, it's from 1938, the year that he moved into this house, and you can see the beautiful colours, the children bringing him flowers. This kind of represents the reverence that people had for this great figure from Kazakhstan. Oh. On top of it, there's his hat. This is a special hat called a brig, and you can see on the picture behind me that Zhambyl is wearing his hat there, and he's very famous for his hat, because in all of the images that you see of Zhambyl, he's always wearing his brig. And finally, I'd like to show you the clock on the wall. The clock is set to the time of 5 to 8. It was 5 to 8 in the morning when Zhambyl's heart stopped beating. The great paradox of Zhambyl is that despite his stature as a literary giant, he never developed any literary skills, expressing the depth of his art only through song lyrics and the dombra. Zharokov enabled Zhambyl's art to be preserved in the written form for posterity. Behind me you can see here, these are Zhambyl's own words, which express the notion that for him the dombra, this musical instrument here, replaced the quill and the ink as being the expression of his art. And behind it you can see this beautiful pattern work that has been carved into the wall here. Based on the Ford Model B of the 1930s, the Gaz M1, or MK as it was popularly referred to, was one of the first cars produced by the Gorky car factory in Nizhny Novgorod, and this rare example is one of only 8 that was exported to Kazakhstan. This is Zhambyl's mausoleum under which he's buried, and the mausoleum was built 1 year after his death in 1946. Restored in both 1971 and 1996 to mark the 125th and 150th anniversaries of Zhambyl's birth, the mausoleum features a facade of black and white marble and a striking blue cupola. The steps were modified in 1996 to include sculptures of musical instruments and the snow leopard, from which it is said that Zhambyl gained his initial inspiration. Newlyweds include the mausoleum on their wedding day motorcade around local places of interest. Well, we've come to the end of a fascinating day at the Zhambyl Museum exploring the life of Zhambyl Zhabaev, and now we're heading back for our 2-hour journey back to the city. I hope you'll join us again next time on Steppe Tales, when I'll show you more of Kazakhstan as seen through the eyes of a foreigner. Goodbye. Da, da, da.